Buddy's gone down towards the full forward spot. Maybe Brown takes whoever comes through there, and Reid stays up across the half-back line for the Magpies.
Okay, opening bounce, MCG, Collingwood versus Hawthorn. Ball, the ruckman can touch it, Burgoyne. Now a kick by McCaffer to centre half forward. Well done, Gillum comes to meet it off to Rioli. The brilliant Cyril Rioli. Lewis, gee, gave it to his captain who wasn't clear, put him under the pump, but he did well to rest the handball back to Ellis. High towards half forward, Shaw going back, the double fister to the line. And it's over. Boundary throw in, half forward for the Hawks.
Congratulations also today to Mick Malthouse. He is coaching his 634th game. Equal second now with Kevin Sheedy, only surpassed by Jock McHale with 714. Great achievement from Mick Malthouse.
Wonderful achievement, and he'll be looking to get that third premiership, no doubt. He's a good chance this year with this side.
Collingwood work it to half forward. Poor kick though. Turned over by McCaffer, and the mark's taken by one of the favourites for the Rising Star next week, Stratton. His kick finds Murphy. Off to Lewis. Spots up Roughhead, who goes back into the corridor to Osborne, who throws it on the left. A wobbly old kick. Almost fell in the hands of Bateman. Here's Franklin. Lost his feet. Bateman gang tackled by 3 Magpies and will have a bounce.
Actually, just going back to Mick Malthouse, Rob, I mean, it's a remarkable achievement at this day and age, isn't it? Under the pressure of coaching, you know, you can go back to Jock McHale and all that, but his record is a remarkable one.
Terrific record at all the clubs that he's been at, and don't forget he started at Footscray, battling club, and got them into finals.
Brown,
back in the days when it was a final 5.
Clears it only as far as Gillum, who marked 60 metres from goal. Needs an option. Franklin wants it in the pocket, and he goes wider than that, looking for Hooper, but well done O'Brien, fisting it over for a boundary throw-in.
And Rob, the final thing on Mick Malthouse, I mean, you could wax lyrical, but to have that enthusiasm to still do it after all these years is, I mean, that's the thing that just gets me.
It takes enormous energy to coach at AFL level, because it just consumes you, and he's done it for about 3 decades.
Ball to the wing, well done. Blair got up and effected the spoil. He's well tackled by Stratton, loose footy. Dawes does well to pluck the football. Fighting hard at ground level. Gillum doing well for Hawthorn, helping tie the ball in, and a bounce on centre wing.
Well, it's interesting, they've started Fraser in the forward line, the Magpies. Jolly doing the ruck work now, so it's a pretty tall forward line with Dawes, Fraser and Cloak.
Sewell's at the bottom of all that, and another bounce.
Yeah, I must say I'm a bit surprised too, Rob. I thought throw him in a ruck first, get him a kick, you know, just get him a feel of the ball. It's going to be hard to get a kick in the forward line. It's pretty tight at the moment.
Yeah, you hope maybe Jolly might, after 5 minutes, say, OK, you're on, have a go at it.
Jolly one with strength there and slapped it forward to Ball. Couldn't control it. Renoff slapped it back to Mitchell. Quick kick. Marked by Shaw. Now, not much happening early in this game. Shaw goes long with courage. Brown couldn't take the mark. Spills to Swan. Now Brown again. Off to Lewis. Handballs to Osborne. Gives it off to Rioli. Oh, he's stubbed his toe when he kicked that, which he can do from time to time. Attacking it hard was Whitecross. Handball comes out now to Lewis into the pocket. Franklin's got the set. He plays on, and Bunny has missed an absolute soda, and that is not good enough at this level. You've got to go back and take the shot. That's just a terrible miss.
Bit of a sign of nerves to me that he wasn't prepared to go back, line it up. He just wanted to get it over and done with as quick as he could.
10 metres out. Got to go back and kick the goal.
Swan now towards the wing. Well done by Blair. And in the process of spoiling, there you go. So it's against Campbell Brown. And you heard the explanation from the umpire as Blair kicks towards half forward. Davis involved in a couple of early passages here. Now he's got a loose player short, decides to go towards Cloak, towards full forward. Well done, Gibson. Best recovery. Cloak can run in, and he's missed from 5 metres as well. He could have run to the goal line.
He tried to banana it off balance.
And there's a close look at Buddy. We'll get Travis Cloak in just a moment, and the check side kick across the face, out on the full.
Got a new friend on our telecast today, goalpost cam. More on that as the afternoon wears on. Trying some new technology, which we think will work a treat. Whitecross took him on without success. Ellis on hands and knees. And another stoppage.
Now, this new technology, Quarters, is that because of the goal umpiring fiasco we had 3 weeks back?
Well, we believe, Rob, this will solve the problem of adjudications right on the line. This should solve any problems, and we can have a replay up within about 3 to 5 seconds. And as the afternoon wears on, and over the next few weeks in the finals, we'll give it a real good go. Sewell. Handballs to Osborne. Quick hands to Lewis, who's had a bit of the ball early. Off to Bateman. Swings back onto the right. Not a lot on offer. That's an ambitious handball which did come off. Kicks into the pocket. O'Brien, quiet last week, backs himself here. Gets the handball receive and he's off for a bit of a run. To Shaw, to the wing, and the sliders taken by Cloak.
See that Harry O'Brien. Don't you love watching that, Rob, when he actually takes them on?
Oh, he backs himself, doesn't he? Had his worst game of AFL last week.
Finds Jolly at half forward. Long kick to the goal square. Dawes working back in his mark between the goal and point posts.
Gee, it was good play by Jolly, Chriso. He realised that the goal square was empty and he saw his big mate heading back there and he just popped that ball over.
And here's goal post cam, and you can just see the mark taken inside the line.
Don't mention the Gold Coast.
No. Oh, no. God. I've been hearing about it for the last 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, are they poaching everyone?
Oh. Chris Dawes, haven't seen it go yet.
Well,
still haven't.
They are just about the most inaccurate team in the competition, the Magpies. We saw Travis Cloak have a shot from 5 metres out, put it out of bounds. That one from 3 metres out by Dawes, and he's missed by a mile. And that is one of the big worries that Mick Malthouse has going into September, that his team just doesn't make the most of its opportunities.
Massive roost from Clint Young, and that's a good, strong mark taken at half back by Skipper. Off to Stratton. Poor kick to half forward. O'Brien spilt the beans. He's got plenty of teammates to mop it up here. One of them is Cloak. He's been cut off by Burgoyne. He couldn't hang on to the mark. Osborne back to Burgoyne. Had 37 touches last week to Peterson. A long ball. Franklin should mark this. He plays on, and this time he makes no mistake from 2 metres out.
Well, it all started with the Travis Cloak centering of the ball.
Good stretch from Skipper.
Yeah, it was. But it was a dangerous kick by Travis Cloak, virtually from half-back flank for the Magpies to centre half-back, and intercepted there by the Hawks. Goal.
Well, and here's the cross, Rob, from Travis Cloak.
Yeah, and it's just too dangerous a kick. It's a risky kick, and actually he went back to his centre half forward position after the goal was scored by the Hawks, and the runner went straight out and had a few words and demanded that he come from the field. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the coach has a word with him.
Swan towards half forward. Good mark taken 40 metres from goal by Beams. And what a wonderful player Dane Beams has developed into from the Gold Coast, Malcolm.
Yes, he is. What he is a goal kicker. You know, he kicks his 1 or 2 goals, a couple of goals a game.
In the top 50 goal kickers this year, though, Malcolm, in the AFL, he is the worst converter at 47%.
He actually looks all right too. It's not as though he looks a bad kick.
24-27 so far for Dane Beams in season 2010.
One hand higher than the other. Probably a slight dominance.
From 45, looks pretty good. Kick. First goal for the Magpies. All tied up, 7 points apiece, and a wonderful kick there from Dane Beams, his 25th goal of the year.
Yeah, as I said, he looks balanced in his kicking. I don't, you know, just as mentioned, one hand higher than the other. But generally speaking, his run-up's not too bad. He runs pretty straight. I think a lot of those might be snapshots.
So Dane Beams gets Collingwood's first. All locked up at 1-1 apiece. Skipper against Fraser. Oh, Skipper, magnificent tap there. Got up really high, but to little effect in the end as Swan did the roving. Puts it inside 50. Dawes trying to get rid of it. Handed it off in the end. Umpire let it go. Murphy tries to do the same. Side bottom tackled by Brown, and we'll have a bounce just inside Collingwood's attacking 50.
So that was terrific from Dawes, wasn't it? Just to attack the bloke. He went hard at that footy.
Yeah, he has a real go, Dawes. We'll see. Yeah, he's a strong man. Campbell Brown comes in. Campbell Brown playing on a half-back flank for the Hawks today, Malcolm.
Wellingham off to Swan, who's had a lot of it. Kick to the goal square, just wide. Through for a behind.
Now, if Campbell Brown goes to the Suns, I wonder where he'll play up there. Defence, forward, midfield.
Thinking aloud, Rob?
I am.
Guerra. Oh, shocking kick. And there's a gift for Leon Davis. Rob, thank you very much. It might be his day.
Well, he could be a mate of Leon's and said, here, I'll get you into the game.
Oh, dear. Gift wrapped on a silver platter. So Leon Davis, big afternoon as we've discussed for him if he wants to play in September. He was the late inclusion, converting at 50% this season. Another miss.
Well, as far as accuracy goes, they are ranked 14th in the competition, and we've seen 3 shots that should have been goals in the first 10 minutes of this game.
I'd love to know, Rob, and not being a big stats person, however, how many minor premiers have been the worst, second worst or third worst shots at goal? Wouldn't be a lot in my time.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't have thought so. If you're a good team, that's one of your strengths, isn't it? That you are accurate off the boot.
Yep.
Guerra gets it to half-back after he played on and fisted over by Fraser. So it looks as though Hawthorn looking to beat that zone that Collingwood put in place by getting it long on most occasions. There's Alistair Clarkson coaching from the boundary line. Chance for Pendlebury. Jams it on the boot, high towards the pocket. Dawes and Gillum. Loose football. Well done, McCaffer. Davis front and centre. Tried to thread the eye of a needle, couldn't. And another behind. So Collingwood 1-4.
Kick in for the Hawks is marked by Brown. Short one to Murphy. Now he drills it long. Good kick towards Osborne. Uses his body nicely. Now hustles Shaw. Kicks in the skipper direction, who's run hard. He's on his wrong side. Gives it back to Peterson. A dainty little kick into the pocket to Bateman. Almost took a good mark and might have caught one high. Gets up very slowly. Wellingham. Nice handball to Shaw. Run down. Big tackle by Peterson. Bateman is still down. Play on. Handball to Osborne was poor. Coming in hard was Tuvey to Shaw over the line. And Bateman still receiving some treatment. Not sure if it was a shoulder or a head. He says he's okay. Oh, just got clipped on the way through accidentally by Brown. Luckily, it wasn't. Or lucky it wasn't worse.
Well, Josh Fraser doing the ruck work against Skipper, and he's got to make sure that he runs with Skipper when Skipper goes forward like he did just a minute ago. That's the reason that Josh Fraser got dropped from this Collingwood team, because as a ruckman he was lazy. He was not working hard enough in the Magpie defence.
Ellis with the free kick off to Young. Good tackle, Cloak. Great stuff from the big man, and advantage paid. Beams. Magpies away here. Sweeping handball into the path of Sidebottom, who didn't have to break stride from 50. He lets go. Goalwood offline. 1-5 plays 1-1. Collingwood a little wasteful. We look at this wonderful tackle from Travis Cloak.
He's just done that with his arms.
And
that is super strong to be able to do that.
Yeah, sorry, Blighty. Quarters, just an update on Bateman. He's come off favouring the left shoulder. He's in a bit of pain. He's flexing it, though, so it doesn't look like it's too bad. They'll work on it and hopefully get him back out there.
Ball kick to the wing. Front and centre was Thomas. Handball smothered by Osborne. Got it back to Whitecross, who kicks down the line. Maxwell to McCarthy. And his kick's beautiful. Finds McCaffer. Kicks to Swan. And he's got the mark at half forward. Not a lot of intensity in this match in the first quarter. Swan's up to 7 already. He's in a lot of dream teams today as captain. Grand final week in the dream team. And here's another one.
Here's a ball magnet, isn't he?
Oh, number 8.
He can't find it.
Oh, swapped him for Ablett too.
Oh, he goes back to Nathan Brown. He goes back inside defence of 50 to Ben Reid. Good to see Ben Reid back in this Collingwood lineup this afternoon. Wide to Goldsack.
Oh.
They can set something up here as Shaw is vacant on centre wing. Loose player inside is Maxwell, who just kept running. Now Gibson comes to confront him. Oh, he tried to handball over the top. Only went as far as Davis, who did well to get it back to Maxwell. Scrambly kick. Chance for Stratton. Needs to keep the ball in front of him. Couldn't. Well done, side bottom. Off the cloak. Oh, he tried to give it back. Couldn't quite get it to him. So a boundary throw in the pocket for the Magpies.
Geez, a strong man, Travis Cloak, and I think he just realises now how powerful he is. What a presence he is on the football field.
Ran off the tap into the path of Stratton. Gibson couldn't find Mitchell. Picked up by Beams. Ball partially smothered. Another throw in inside Collingwood's attacking 50. They're Swan up to 9 disposals already. Lewis has got 7 for the Hawks. Jolly out the back door. Ellis picks it up. Tackled by McCaffer.
And quarters, young McCarthy, who's come into the Collingwood team, he's got a tagging job on Sam Mitchell. He's back a screen there on the left, just working across to get onto Sam Mitchell. You can see he's got his arm across him. A lot of people surprised that this young fella came into the team, but he's got a specific role, as you can see.
Ran off the tap, beautifully done to Rioli, to Lewis, over the top to Young, who we know is a thumping kick. He swings onto the left, he's run his full measure, just has a bounce in the nick of time, now has 2. He wants to go long to Franklin, but he shanks the kick into the pocket. O'Brien gets there first and is happy to see it over the line.
How good is Rioli when he, just from that takeaway, I mean, this is just classic, isn't it? Just awareness.
Quick feet.
Yeah.
So Jolly to do the ruck work against Renouf. Hawthorn deep into attack. Jolly in front position. Maxwell just jams it on the boot very wide. Chance for Wellingham, couldn't take it. Stratton could, keeps it in cleverly towards the boundary umpire had his arm extended. So a boundary throw, and I thought he did well there, Stratton, but couldn't quite keep it in.
As he
just there,
back, yeah.
Oh, it was well out. So it's still at half forward for the Hawks. Renouf reaches over, taken by Wellingham. Now Pendlebury an opportunity. Quick kick forward towards Roughhead. Does well to keep the ball in front of him. Fighting against a couple of Magpies. Umpire letting it go and decides to ball it up just inside the attacking 50 for Hawthorn.
Collingwood only at 56% at the moment, disposing of the ball. 50 out from the Hawks' goal. Jolly again the tap. Shark by Ellis to Rioli to Lewis again. He's been really busy in the first quarter to Franklin against Brown. And it's a free kick going to Buddy, and he loves this pocket. So he's a chance from here, believe it or not. Again wants to kick quickly. So this kick will suit Franklin. Seen him drill a few from here. He's got the Hawks' only goal of the match so far. "57 goals for the season, converting at 58%. He started that one left, and that's where it stayed. In fact, it's out on the full, didn't even get a point.
It's been good so far, hasn't he? Lively. Looked dangerous up forward.
So Shaw with the ball in the back pocket. Mark taken by Brown. So just 2 goals in nearly 20 minutes of play in this opening quarter. Nathan Brown drives it long. Jolly the target. Well done, Renouf. Fisted it away. Pendlebury an opportunity. Well done, Renouf. Kick charged down by McCarthy. Tight and tough. Burgoyne to Guerra. Off to Gillam. And a loose player in the centre is Brown, who can take it and go. Handball off to Murphy. Gibson. Now he's confronted. They're forced back. Hawthorn, Mitchell. Oh, he's break. Beautiful done, but Dawes did superbly. Chopped down the handball. Now Cloak. Open forward 50 for the Magpies. Goldsack, can he get around Guerra? Not quite. Support coming from Swan. Kicks it into the pocket. Blair, yes! No, he's been called to play on. Collingwood fans don't like it. A bounce 50 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Gee, I want to have a look at that again, Chris. What about the effort of Dawes in the middle of the ground, though? Was that a mark?
Yeah.
Gee, on what we saw it was.
So a chance here for the Magpies. Jolly taken though by Lewis. Brown, he shares it with Mitchell. And the Hawks now gain control, out of trouble with Sewell. There's a box on going on behind the play.
Burgoyne and McCaffer.
It's a free kick over here before you'd kicked.
It's interesting. McCaffer has been trying to run with Burgoyne for the last 5 minutes. And you get the feeling Mick Malthouse has put the challenge to a couple of his young pies. McCaffer to go with Burgoyne and McCarthy to run with Mitchell.
Is that got to be interesting? Can't have too many though, Rob, can you? You're taking 2 away if just defensive.
I agree, Malcolm. I reckon one's probably enough.
Yeah.
And this Collingwood team, they've thrilled us with their ability to play fast flow, creative football.
Long kick by Ellis. Back of the pack is Renoff.
Actually, I don't even mind. I mean, it might be something he's doing just for a quarter, just in case in the grand final or a final he needs to shut them down.
Let's
practice it for a quarter.
It's not often you can experiment.
No, that's right.
But you can today.
Maybe in the second quarter, let's go for it. See what you can get.
Good work by Jolly. Number 11 for Swan. Having a great first quarter and a good mark. Strong mark taken by Dawes. Quickly on to Blair. Hand passes to Pendlebury. Gives it to Cloak. To Thomas. Handball's off target. That allows the Hawks back into the picture. Rioli. Whitecross. Over to Gillum. Here's Lewis. This is his 11th disposal. To Renoff, to Mitchell. Now he kicks, much to the delight of the Hawthorn fans.
12.
Here's Swan. A dozen. To Reid. He loads up, goes back into the corridor, and just comes off to Maxwell. Well, fortune favours the brave. You've got to take risks in this game, and it's come off here as Beams delivers to side bottom on the wing.
Steele side bottom. Now he's got Pendlebury long inside the attacking 50. Decides to ignore that as that's closed down, so he chips it short instead, and the mark's taken by Beams.
Josh Fraser just coming back on the ground, yet to have a disposal. He might sneak one here. He might sneak one here. No. He looked at him and said, no, I'm going to go longer.
So he does. Dawes, Thomas in from the side. Oh, Dawes, that's a great mark. He was manhandled in the pack, decides to play on and kicks it straight into Osborne. Well done, Michael Osborne. Put his head over the footy. It was tough stuff. He's paid the price. He's down, holding his head. But that was a big mark initially. Look at Dawes in the pack. Somehow was able to find it. But a bounce is the end of it. No, in fact, he kicked it into his teammate, Pendlebury.
I tell you what, there's going to be one unhappy Magpie coach at quarter time.
Brown to Murphy, to Lewis. That's his 12th disposal. Kicks to Young. Not a lot off Long. Franklin now provides a lead. So Young gets a bit of a shepherd on the mark. Has a couple of bounces and then runs into a wall. So forced to kick hurriedly, and that's poor. And easily chopped off by Brown. So Collingwood will work it back into defensive 50 and start again. They switch to the members' side.
Short kick comes to O'Brien, who takes on Osborne and around him with a bounce. Kick to the wing. Thomas, good mark, in front of Rioli. O'Brien keeps going, but instead he decides to go inboard. Mark taken by Beams. Got a loose player in the centre. That's Tuvey. And he can switch the play to the other wing, the southern wing, to Brown. Trying to work away around as his short kick to Wellingham. Oh, gee, he got out of the Stratton tackle too easily. And now he plays on to 50, kicks it straight to Gibson. Poor turnover.
It's actually been a bit of a turnover game, hasn't it? That both teams not quite finding their mark with their kick or handball.
Hawthorn at 62%, Collingwood at 54% for kicking efficiency.
Do you reckon we've got two teams here, Malcolm, who I reckon the coaches are fair dinkum because they know that you can't flirt with your form, but the players know that they're playing finals next week no matter what. There's not a real lot at stake.
Quick kick by Swan.
You just know that Hodge is going to come back into the team, and a couple of the Magpie players are coming back into the team.
Didac.
Yeah, I'd be going flat out, Rob, if I was a player.
You just can't turn it on or off. And even Fremantle last night, OK, they won the game, rested all the players last week, but they weren't that impressive.
Franklin, crunching tackle by Brown. Little soccer off the ground by Osborne, but holding the ball. Kicking in danger, in fact, was paid in the end. Either way, free kick to Collingwood. Oh, a couple of players have collided off the ball. I think that was an accident more than anything. Maxwell and Osborne it was. They're both up and OK as Cloak's taken the mark. Back to Reid. He kicks to Tuvey. Short one to Shaw. Now he handballs to Ball. To the 50. Dawes went for it, couldn't hang on. Sewell squeezes it out to Brown. But again, not much on offer, so Brown has got to hold things up.
Minute left in the opening quarter. Just 2 goals kicked as Brown goes back inside defensive 50. And the mark's taken by Stratton. Back towards Brown, although Ball was able to get his body in line. Now Whitecross an opportunity. Dangerous kick back inside the corridor, but mark taken by Gibson. Still enough time here for the Hawks to hit the front before the quarter time siren. Gibson drives it long. Franklin is the target. Brown will be up to try and fist it away, but he can't. Brilliant stuff from Franklin. Intent on playing on, draws the player. Oh, handball though, wasn't great. Fraser, side bottom combined. Now Maxwell, and the mark's taken by Cloak on centre wing.
Quick kick by Cloak, inside 50, Gibson from the side. Nice piece of spoiling work there. Now gets the handball from Young to Ellis to Mitchell. Back to Young. Long kick towards Bateman as the siren sounds in what was a very lacklustre first quarter. Rob and Malcolm. Hawthorn 1-1, Collingwood 1-5.
Down there at full forward, massive shin guard. Well, ruckman get bashed at the centre bounces, and at the moment it's Josh Fraser doing the #1 ruck work for the Pies.
Rioli puts Hawthorn inside 50 to start the second term. Nice trap by Peterson. Handball though went straight to Shaw, whose kick went straight to Young. Had a good first quarter, did Clint Young, back in the team after injury. Kicks long, and that's almost a mark. Not quite paid to Renouf. In the last line of defence, Maxwell, and we'll have a throw in. Almost a good mark to Renouf, but didn't quite hang on to it for long enough.
So opportunity here for the Hawks, deep in their forward pocket. Fraser, Renouf, beautifully done by Renouf. Osborne dived on the football and now hasn't got that out. He gets the benefit of the doubt and will get a bounce 25 metres from Hawthorn's goal. Just 2 goals kicked in the opening quarter. A couple of easy ones missed by the Magpies, but Franklin missed a couple for the Hawks. Fraser, beautiful tap to Pendlebury. Kicks it back towards half-back. That's a clever mark taken by Peterson, 50 metres from goal.
He's got the skinniest legs. Quarters and I were down there before the game, and we saw the Hawks doing their warm-up, and we saw this young fella who's had a terrific year with the Hawks, and we just thought, how do those skinny legs hold him up?
Bit of a passion of yours looking at players' legs, Rob, is it?
Well, can those skinny legs kick 55 metres, Rob? That's the question. To put the Hawks in front, 12 goals for the year, gives it a fair roost. Hasn't quite got the carry. Still in play, Maxwell. Only gets it to 20 metres from the defensive goal. Wellingham missed the opportunity. Pendlebury fell on top of the football. I think he's in trouble. No, the umpire letting it go. It's still under there somewhere.
Blow the whistle.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well,
I reckon He's run 60 metres in a semicircle.
He was circling like a shark. So a bounce 20 metres from Hawthorn's goal. Big pack of players around it. Lewis an opportunity, fell over. Mitchell put the head down. Hawthorn fans scream for a free kick. Pendlebury's got it. Lewis trying to rip it from him. And again the umpire has to call for it. And a bounce 25 metres from Hawthorn's goal.
Starting to get a bit willing. As he said, oh, hello, off the ball.
Holding. No, it's before he kicked. It's your kick, holding off the ball.
So it's going Collingwood's way. So there's a little elbow in the back of the head from Wellingham to Mitchell, who didn't like the treatment. And why would you?
Effectively.
So good to have a bit of intensity into the game, bit of heat.
Run, let him run.
Been much ado about nothing so far.
Back him on your mark, Sharon. All right. Yep, that's it. Time back on.
Sharad Wellingham, one of the Magpies' most improved in 2010.
Move it on.
Deep in defence.
Play on.
Oh, what's going on out there? Wellingham again. Tackled by Mitchell. Well, did it come off his boot? No, he handballed it over the line. As Mitchell lets Wellingham know all about it.
He does.
Here, Sharon. Don't go high.
Good tackle from the Hawthorn captain. So maybe this will spark him into action. 50 out from the Hawks goal. Here's Wellingham again. Couldn't get a handle on it. McCarthy. Handball was astray. Picked up by Roughhead, who blazed away and kicked a point.
Sharon, keep me cool, mate. You've got to keep me cool. Keep me cool.
Umpires talking to players. Keep your cool, keep your cool. Makes sense. You'd hate to be suspended on the eve of the finals.
First score for 18 minutes in the game. So O'Brien does well to find Shaw. Although Collingwood really finding it difficult in the early stages of this second quarter to get it out of the Hawthorn forward half. Shaw drives it long. Fraser is the target. He's up. Couldn't take the mark. Well done, McCaffer. Handball a bit too slick for Blair. Goldsack. Oh, he's pinned by Rioli in a great tackle. Umpire called play on. Peterson did brilliantly. Over the top. Osborne lost the handle for a moment, but now an opportunity. Not too much to go to, so he handballs back to his captain, who kicks it wildly towards half forward off the side of the boot. Free kick to the Magpies.
OK, goalpost cam, boys. This is what confronts the goal umpire in the hustle and bustle of trying to make a judgment on the line. They have two cameras, one at 40 centimetres and one at 3 metres today. It's taken 6 months to put this technology together, thanks to our Channel 10 technicians, Tony Walker and Jeff Coleman. It's
well, the first thing it tells you, Quarters, you've got to be fit to be a goal umpire.
yeah, technology that's originated from the United States. They used cameras on skateboard helmets. More of that in the afternoon.
Roughhead drives it deep towards full forward. Franklin is one out with Brown. Brown does well. Great support provided by Reid. Oh, the handball from Brown went astray, though. O'Brien tries to mop up. Little toe poke to the line is effective enough. And the ball over. Mick Malthouse frustrated in the box. And one of the few coaches, Malcolm, that hasn't seen fit to get down to the boundary line and coach from the dugout or the bench.
No, there's still a few left, isn't there? Coaching can sometimes be like sheep. You tend to follow what someone else does.
Chance for Rioli, little soccer forward, and it's through. An amazing goal from Cyril Rioli. Well, he just got booted the ball, socketed it goalward in the general vicinity, and it's trickled through.
Well, the game needed it, didn't it? The game needed a bit of magic, and no one better than Cyril to do that. He did one last week on the left boot, kicked the ball in mid-air down there at Launceston on the left, that one on the right. He's a genius.
Cyril's done it again. Here's goalpost cam. Didn't see much of the ball in that one, did we? But two remarkable goals in consecutive weeks from Cyril Rioli. Hawthorn hit the front 2-2. Plays 1-5. As I said, there's two cameras in the post today. One at 40 centimetres off the ground, the other at 3 metres. Blair. Now ball. High up and under. Underneath it is Pendlebury. Good mark. He's brought to ground by Murphy. No 50 there. 55 out from goal. Scott Pendlebury. One of the big chances for the Brownlow medal in a month's time.
Hold it.
Short to McCaffer.
Both teams have pushed really back hard on defence. It is very difficult to score. A lot of players that went into the ground when this is happening. Hence you get a low score. They only kicked 6 goals last week too, Collingwood, against the Crows. They got home, but 6-18. Hawthorn have learned something from that probably.
Still yet to have an inside 50 this quarter. Here's one. Long ball to the tip of the goal square. Jolly flies high, can't take the mark. Full of the ball is Skipper. Good handball under pressure to Lewis, who backs back into traffic. Now jams it on the left. This is all Collingwood. Oh, bounced off the chest of Fraser. That's not what the big man wanted in his 200th game.
Well, did the sun get in his eyes? That's the only excuse you can say. Should have held it.
Bit rusty. 10 weeks he's played in the VFL.
So boundary throw in, half forward for the Magpies. Fraser works to the front, wins it down, I think as far as Mitchell. He's well tackled by Ball, and a bounce 55 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Let's go straight up. Luke.
And just looking up to the sun there, Josh Fraser, I think you were right. High ball coming out of the Collingwood forward line. So here he is again, beaten by Skipper. McCaffer, well tackled by Mitchell. Ball only as far as Burgoyne to Mitchell. Back to Burgoyne. They're under pressure, but get out of trouble. Well played, Burgoyne. Lewis. Oh, he broke through easily. A couple of tackles, Jordan Lewis. Long towards half forward. O'Brien and Hooper. This will be a battle. O'Brien assumes front position, but he's brilliantly tackled. First to arrive, he's captain. Oh, gee, must get a free kick there. Play on the call. O'Brien off to McCarthy, who drives it towards half forward. At the back, Blair. Up high, couldn't take the mark. Rioli. Sent off to Murphy. Stratton. Short kick, very short, not 15. Taken by Bateman. Now Young at centre half back. Not too much to go to, so forced to do a little U-turn. Get back onto the left boot. Long towards half forward. Brown almost the mark. Couldn't take it. Here's Franklin. Franklin. Beautiful handball to accommodate Osborne. Left foot snap. Offline.
Don't know if Buddy needed to give the handball. Good that he did, but if he had have had a shot, I think he had enough space and time to be able to get it on his boot. And very much a one-sided player is Buddy, but he can bend them.
Goldsack to do the kicking in. Well, he gave the big torpy. I think that might be put away for a while.
I reckon the torpedo's been put away for the year.
He kicks to himself. Oh, would have been better going for the torp.
I tell you what, Mick Moldhouse, how many games has he coached, Malcolm?
634.
This will be one of the most stressful that he's had.
Oh, he's sitting on top of the ladder. I don't think it's too bad. It's just the moment thing.
Ellis kicks to the hot spot. Franklin from the side almost took the mark. Jolly, ineffective handball picked up by Whitecross to Peterson. Oh, somehow got through traffic and has a shot at goal and kicks a ripper.
So he's a lively player. He's been a very, very effective player in this game. He's had 6 touches. He's actually looked more dangerous than that. Peterson, he's nice and balanced.
Got some tricks.
What he is, he's also confident. It's a few times now he's held onto the ball and not panic under pressure.
Well, that was terrific play by young Peterson, but Mick Moldhouse would be really annoyed about the poor tackling efforts of his team. Lewis cut through a couple at half-back a few minutes ago, and that one there was another example of the mindset that these Collingwood players have got at the moment.
Chance for Beams. Now Swan. Beautiful pickup. So clean. Ordinary kick, though, going forward, looking for Dawes. Chance for Ellis. Just took his eyes off it for a moment, but was able to get it to Stratton. His handball too fierce for Mitchell, but Guerra combines with Peterson. And they get out of trouble, Hawthorn, through Lewis. Wide. And the mark's taken by Whitecross. On the northern wing, chips very wide back to Lewis, and the umpire says it's okay initially, but then blows his whistle, and we'll get a boundary throw in the attacking side of the wing for the Hawks. This is the Mitchell fist on to Guerra, which was effective. So Jolly to do the ruck work.
While he's doing the ruck work, Fraser hasn't gone off. He's gone up to full forward.
Okay, Mitchell is wrapped up by 3 Collingwood players going nowhere. So a bounce the attacking side of the wing for Hawthorn.
Rob, question without notice. 2 great players out, Hodge and Didak. Who do you think would have a bigger influence on this game?
I think Hodge, because I think he's not only is he a brilliant individual, but he's the ultimate team player and he inspires his mates.
Ball still on the wing. Wellingham couldn't snaffle it. Pendlebury fed it out to Wellingham. Hemmed in. Manages to release the handball to Dawes, who tried to get it to McCaffer. Stratton attacks it. Side bottom stood his ground. And a high tackle here.
Steal against Campbell Brown.
And it's going against Campbell Brown. That's to be taken by side bottom. Kicks to Pendlebury. Now he just pumps it long. Looking for Cloak. No mark. Stratton, Gibson. Oh, it's a tough one at the feet of Lewis. And a bounce just inside the Magpies attacking 50. If Hawthorn win this game, they must rely on the Brisbane Lions beating the Sydney Swans tonight to get a home final. That's the live ladder at the moment, assuming Hawthorn win today.
Chance for Swan. Quick kick out of the pack. Is just offline. 1-6 Collingwood now. That's their first score of the second quarter. It's taken 13.5 minutes. Dangerous kick in. Chance for Davis. Good pressure from Leon Davis. The umpire calls play on. Ball's not coming out of there. And we get a bounce. Gee, I don't think we've seen one holding the ball decision today. It looks like
Been a bit more lenient.
They have been very lenient today.
I'm very happy about that too. Give the bloke with a chance, Michael.
I agree.
Hey, Rob, I'm just thinking, this is if Collingwood are going to go as favourites right now. I remember saying this a few weeks ago against the great team. Is that they really need to react to this now, don't they? There's got to be a reaction to this. If you're going to be, you might still get beat, but there's got to be some goals come soon.
Well, you don't want to go into two games leading into the finals where you've kicked 6 against Adelaide last week, as you said, and maybe only 8 or 10 in this game.
Yeah.
It's not great form to go into a final series
Chance
with.
for McCaffer, who has a ping and just misses to the right. So that was a long shot chance there, but 1-7 now. So the margin is 8 points in favour of Hawthorn, and it's Collingwood's turn now to try and hold Hawthorn in their attacking half.
Nice kick in.
Oof.
Direct and straight down the middle. Marked by Sewell. He goes long looking for Rioli in front of O'Brien. And couldn't quite keep it alive.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to have a tight game and get hard and fight for finals, but you wouldn't want to be doing it every week. You get a bit tired doing that.
Jolly against Renouf. Nice tap by Renouf to Sewell. He fed it out to Lewis. He's coming up for his 16th possession. Good kick to Hooper. Moving it quickly onto Rioli. He's got it. Short one. Misses the target. That's his one of the weaknesses in his game. When he's running, he can't usually nail a target. He's kicked it inside out of there. That's got a point.
It's been some spectacular points, we must say.
Oh, sometimes he's running so fast he can't kick it properly.
Here we go, the goal cam. Let's have a look. Good position, the umpire.
O'Brien brings it out of defence, drives it towards Fraser, who's up, and this time he takes the mark.
Gee,
that'll give him some confidence.
He got nice protection there by Dane Swan in the marking contest. Just put his body in line of a Hawthorn opponent to enable Fraser to mark.
Towards half forward, big leap by Renouf. Chance for Ellis, or just stripped of the ball by Cloak, although Cloak couldn't find the handle, and Ellis fights back, barrels it towards half forward. Bad bounce for Brown, rough head, does well, although Reid coming from the opposite direction did superbly as well. He finds it now, off to Short. Short kick is marked by Wellingham on centre wing.
Oh, Franklin almost picked him off as he came back on, but decided to pull up. As Blair has the ball for Collingwood.
Once again, Rob, Collingwood's most of their attacks are coming out wide. That's very wide.
Well,
but I mean, that's been their history. But in their really sparkling form, which I've watched all their games live virtually, They have at times actually from backline run through the middle rather than kick it through the middle. But they really are playing wide today. It's part of their plan. Hawthorn are staying that one side as well.
It's just a lacklustre performance by the Magpies, though. You know, 1 goal, 6 goals last week. We're at the 17-minute mark of this second quarter, and they've only got the 1 goal. You just can't go into the finals next week and say, OK, well, we'll go flat out now after having a spell for a couple of weeks.
Sewell for the Hawks. No one home, so he just pumps it long and hopes for the best. It bounces into the goal square and gets a point. Hawthorn 3-5, Collingwood 1-7.
That's what's ahead of Heath Shaw as he prepares to kick in. Goes to himself and drives it to the southern half back line. McCaffer. And he's paid. No, he's not paid the mark. The umpire thought his opponent got a touch in there, so he goes back to Ball, who kicks it, and a good mark taken by Sidebottom, just backward of the left centre wing for the Magpies. 10 points to Hawthorn advantage. 1-7 Collingwood. Hawthorn are 3-5. Now Dane Swan coming in for his 18th disposal. Not too much on for him. Decides just to kick long along the line towards half forward. Big pack. Jolly up. Couldn't take it. Front and centre. Chance for Guerra. Well tackled by Blair. Brought down. Bounced 60 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Well, one fella, Alistair Clarkson, would be happy with, and have a look at the kicking efficiency. Collingwood well down, but he'd be very pleased with Ellis. Ellis is doing a run with role on Dale Thomas. Thomas has just had 2 disposals to this stage.
Free kick going to Luke Ball for a high tackle. Gets it moving quickly into the hole is Murphy. Spills to Sidebottom. Snap. Makes a very good fist of it. Better than that. That is a wonderful goal from Steele Sidebottom. Purposeful, deliberate, great skill, excellent goal.
Well, it's a kick to a dangerous spot there. Good contest by Cloak, brings it to ground, and this young fella can go left side, right side, doesn't really matter. Wonderful goal sense.
That was Blight-esque.
And that's his 17th goal for the year.
Wonderful goal from Steele Sidebottom. Gee, got some purchase on it too from about 35 metres.
It's actually all the goals have been special. I mean, they're really clever goals rather than I call set-up goals with good football. They've had to all been some tricky thing to it.
So Fraser wins this down, but it's tied up in the middle of the ground, so a secondary bounce.
It's important for Fraser to be aggressive at these centre bounces. He was at that last one.
So up against Skipper here. Chance for Sewell, left it behind. Well done by Hawthorn. They get it through Burgoyne, back to Rioli. Short kick, inside attacking 50. Franklin just couldn't quite find the handle down below his knees. Maxwell does well to knock it towards Reid. Oh, he almost threw it out to Thomas. No free kick. Backing in Goldsack. Well done, Tuvey. Maxwell leaves it for Ball. Collingwood got the numbers here, but can't get the ball away. Thomas has got it hemmed in on the line to Maxwell. Try to get it back towards Thomas, but the ball goes over.
Have a look at Ellis. Ellis will not give him an inch, and that's the frustrations building with Dale Thomas. Just 3 disposals he's had, and Ellis really concentrating on his job to block, knock, not give him any space at all.
Yeah, Young into him at the moment too, as the ball goes to the wing. Sidebottom, big win there. Can he find Wellingham? Not quite. Good hip and shoulder by Brown on Wellingham. It might have stung Wellingham. Brown got up pretty quickly. You'd like that one, Malcolm.
Strength.
Brown has another crack. Gibson. Handball in the Sewell direction. Good attack on the footy by Cloak. Mitchell's there. Dived on top of it. He might be caught. He holding the ball. No, he releases in the nick of time. It's almost a game of rugby union at the moment.
Yes. Travis Cloak terrific there. Andy, problem there with Wellingham.
Oh, he's just shaken up, Blighty. Wolsey hardly moved for about 10 or 15 seconds after that Brown hit. I'm sure there's nothing terribly serious, but he's certainly feeling it.
So Fraser gets it down. Davis back to Fraser. Did well to get boot to ball towards half forward. Well done by Stratton, trapping. Now Bateman with the run. Gillum confronted by Swan, so he has to go back to Guerra. Bateman kept going. Dawes in hot pursuit. Does pretty well, Dawes, to put some pressure on at least. Bateman's kick to a vacant southern wing. Rioli versus Tuvey. Tuvey worried too much about Rioli. Shaw now to Davis. And Dawes has got it. The attacking side of the wing between the wing and half forward for the Magpies. They trail by 4 points. Dawes drives it inside, attacking 50. In front, side bottom. Good fist from Whitecross. Boundary throw in about 45 metres around from the Collingwood goal at left half forward.
Just sense that the Pies are lifting a bit here.
Yeah.
There's a bit of heat coming to this game now, hasn't there?
Bit more urgency.
Yeah.
And the two big fellas up forward, Travis Cloke and Dawes, have been really good with their chasing.
Young to Osborne. Beautiful spin out of trouble against Dawes. Whitecross over the top of it. Back to Dawes. Gives it to Davis. Breaks the tackle from Burgoyne. Kicks deep. Looking for finding Blair off the ground. Goal. Collingwood in front.
Yeah, you could see this building up a bit. Yeah, you could just see it building, can't you? Just everyone seems to have just lifted a little bit. They're keeping the ball on their forward line a bit more, the Collingwood side. Hawks have been great. I mean, it's been a contest at least. And the last 5 or 6 minutes, it's been some real heavy hits and some really good contested footy.
And Davis kicking it forward towards the goal square. And Blair did well here. Just hacked it off the ground through for Collingwood's third goal.
Well, he's only played 8 senior games, young Blair, and he's going to be hard to get out of this team. He's hard in and under, and I reckon he's worth his spot come September.
Davis on the ball too, mate.
And Davis now at half forward. Kicks it into the pocket. That's a wonderful kick onto the chest of Blair, who has an opportunity to kick 2 goals inside a minute.
Leon Davis is good then. He's been on the ball, had a run on the ball. He's just coming off now, but he's got 3 or 4 important touches and set them up.
So Jared Blair,
You're a bit keen on some of these Collingwood players. How would he kick this, Michael, in your expert opinion?
well, I think he's a pretty good kick, Malcolm. Tough shot though. Across the face, there'll be a contest, and well done by the Hawthorn defence. Ran off fisting it through for a rush behind. Didn't make too good an effort there, but has kicked 5 goals in his short career.
Gillum. Handballs to Burgoyne, who's been pretty quiet so far this afternoon. That's a poor kick straight down the throat of Jolly, who marks uncontested.
I reckon he's just winding himself up, Darren Jolly, for a massive September.
Renoff coming off with a slight limp. We'll get to Andy Marr in a minute as Collingwood work it deep inside 50 again. Lewis took on the tackler. Pendlebury touched on the line by Brown.
Oh, was it touched inside?
Yep.
How do we know?
Because I saw it.
What about goal cam?
No, that was an easy one for the goalie. So a rush behind, or a point going to Scott Pendlebury. The Magpies lead by 4 points.
So Gillum under a bit of pressure here, forced to kick quickly, and Blair did superbly coming across on Alice, fisting it over. So a boundary throw in.
Have a look at that, Chris. Contested possessions. Collingwood really picked up in the last 15 minutes, as Malcolm Blight said. Their intensity's lifted. Got a couple of goals starting to get into the game.
Beams a quick kick forward, but ill-directed. He was under a lot of pressure, and a free kick to the Hawks in the back pocket.
As you can see there, Quarters, Renoff came off complaining of a knock low down on his right thigh, so he's getting that seen to at the moment.
So more of a corky, Andy?
Yeah, it looked like it, Stephen. Yep.
Stratton goes the long option. Oh, Peterson flew high, but that's kicked off the ground by Burgoyne out on the full. So free kick going Collingwood's way. Taken by Thomas, who's had a quiet afternoon so far. His 4th possession coming up. Hawks have done a good shutdown job on him so far. Thomas goes long into the pocket. Oh, good mark. Taken by Stratton again.
That was a beauty.
Yeah, he's having an excellent debut year, Ben Stratton, one of the nominees for the Rising Star. He's conceded 26 goals in his 19 matches this year.
Kicks back to half-back. Franklin up. Oh, gee, I thought he had a lot of that. No mark paid. Chance for Burgoyne. Outstanding last week, Sean Burgoyne. Off to wide cross. Now, very open forward half here, the Hawks. Kick towards Roughhead and O'Brien. Getting back. Also short of help. A boundary throw in. And they were exposed there, Collingwood. It's well done by O'Brien.
He's handy, Harry O'Brien. He can play on a player the size of Roughhead. He can play on a player the size of St Kilda's Stephen Milne.
Tuvey put down Osborne way off the ball. It was a right cross into the midriff. And he's still down, Osborne. He's winded. Having a bit of a go at each other. Yeah, well, that was going on. Peterson's got it on the members' wing. Long ball, sun in the eyes for Franklin. But he kept it alive. Nice pick up by Goldsack and a good handball too to Thomas. Quick release. Coming through as Wellingham with a bit of pace. Penetrating handball to McCaffrey. Back to Wellingham. This is better play from Collingwood. A nice build-up. Cloak goes for a bounce. Kicks in the side bottom direction. Couldn't take the mark. Who's got the ground skills? Whitecross gets there first. Side bottom chomping at the heels. Whitecross goes safety first. Magpies lead by 4 points. There was the incident off the ball with Tuvey and Osborne, and Osborne was down for 20 seconds.
Chance for Mitchell.
Nothing overly nasty, I would add, Michael.
Kick wide towards the wing. Now, here's Osborne. He's fully firing now as he kicks towards half forward. Ball close to the line. And now over at half forward for Hawthorn.
Nothing warranting missing a week of the finals?
No. So no little respite here for the Hawks, because the game in the last 10 minutes or so, Malcolm, has been played in the Collingwood half.
Absolutely.
Here's an opportunity for the Hawks. Perhaps against the flow of play to kick a goal, but it's Beams from half-back. McCaffrey. Wellingham loops it over the top to side bottom. Clever player. He handballs to Beams. So Collingwood now have got it in their forward half. Wide to McCaffrey, who kept running. Short kick to Davis, who marks right on the boundary line, 45 from goal. Can we see him run around and perhaps have a shot?
No, where you were. There, no closer than there. That's it.
Leon Davis has had 9 disposals, so coming in for disposal number 10. So, as you said, Malcolm, involved in a couple of key passages in the last 10 or 12 minutes. He runs around from 50, barrels at goalward and kicks it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I think what's happened is he's just been freed up a bit, got a kick, and all of a sudden your confidence comes back. It's a fine line game sometimes. They worked it beautifully around the boundary line. I mean, the sharing and giving of the ball from that takeaway was pure Collingwood at its best.
And Malcolm, Leon Davis, he kicks this goal. It's a terrific goal. He's got 1 goal on the board, 10 disposals. We're just about at half time. If he doubles that output, 20 touches, a couple of goals, he's got to give him a chance for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would be hard to keep out.
High contact, Darren Jolly.
Free kick going Collingwood's way.
And it's almost like getting those easy kicks around the midfield, just liven him up again too.
Time for another quickie for the Magpies. They're getting on top, and it's a free kick to Collingwood. They're getting on top and late in the second term, and here's a big opportunity right on the half-time siren to make it 16 points the difference.
Well, 2 free kicks, Quarters. The free kick to Jolly in the ruck, and this one here. And the worry with Surioli, he took his eyes off the ball, wrapped his arms around side bottom, and you can see there, that's where he's lost the free kick, and it's the correct call.
He's already kicked a goal this afternoon. There's the siren. So Magpies lead by 10 points. They finished this term strongly. This to make it 16 at the main break. Just sneaked home for 1 behind. So 11 points the difference at half time. It's Collingwood 4-10, leading Hawthorn 3-5. The finals for season 2010 start next week.
By the goal umpire there. I'm sure there's a use the AFL from a coaching perspective will be able to incorporate that, but hopefully it's going to get the right outcome in the future, and that's what it's all about.
Thanks, Andy. Third quarter underway. Magpies by 11. Beautiful tap from Fraser to Swan. Inside attacking 50. Ball to the back. Chance for Murphy. First to arrive. Well, good tackle though by Dawes. Got the handball to Gibson. Now Guerra. Back to Saul. Dawes' pressure was great. Cloak, little give to Beams. Now Goldsack. What's he doing down there? From 30, he lets sail, but well offline. And behind to the Magpies.
Blighty, you'd have to say that Mick Malthouse is giving Josh Fraser every chance to prove himself. He started him in the ruck for this third quarter. Jolly's started at full forward.
Yeah, and it's still a long way to go, isn't it? 4 weeks to a grand final. Anything can happen.
Guerra goes up the middle. Sewell just managed to spoil it the death, but doing the roving is Beams. Long ball to the forward 50, and the mark taken by Jolly.
And what happened there, Jolly was the man who guarded the kick in, and Guerra, when the ball rebounded, just found himself, have a look at this, big man against a little man, and the big man just swatted the little man out of the way.
Swatted.
As a big man will do.
Darren Jolly has booted 19 goals this season. Tight angle, but very kickable. And he does it well.
Yes, that quick kick back. Big fella who can mark. 20-odd goals for the year. That's pretty good return from the big fella. Nearly always kicks a goal when he goes up forward, and always a bit of a handful. So a really bright start by Collingwood, who really carried on from that last 15 minutes of that second quarter.
So Jolly with his first goal of the afternoon, and Collingwood have now kicked 4 goals since the 20-minute mark of the second quarter, after kicking just 1 up until that point. So back in the centre. Renouf to Saul. Fraser, good tackle applied. Umpire letting it go just for a moment, but then calls for it, a bounce. Wonderful winter's day. Perfect sunshine. Great crowd in here. Renouf, shark by Beams, quick kick towards half forward. Blair an opportunity. Does well to find the football. Well tackled by Guerra. Didn't have much of an opportunity to affect the disposal, so a bounce at centre-half forward for the Magpies.
And again, McCaffer, back of picture, doing the tagging job on Burgoyne. Burgoyne, 12 disposals in that first half.
Here's Rioli. Took on the tackler and has paid the price. So slowly but surely, Collingwood getting on top here at the MCG. Another long kick to Jolly. Strength again. Gillam did well just to get fist to the footy. Mitchell coughed it up. Murphy, Ellis. Hawks defence under the pump now. Lewis off to Guerra. And his kick finds Rioli. He's found some space on centre wing. Gets it moving quickly in the direction of Bateman. Nice spoil from Shaw.
Well, Shaw absolutely sprinted flat out to go with Bateman there, and then desperately threw himself at the marking contest to cause the spoil.
Perfect spoil.
Apart from the hand in the back.
Fraser got the front posse, tapped it to Beams. Somehow found Wellingham. He goes back to the wing. Guerra against Blair. Throw in.
Rob, just talking about Fremantle and resting players under general soreness. Someone asked me coming here today, has the military invaded football? General soreness is becoming very popular. How about that? General soreness.
Well, there were about 10 last week.
Yeah.
Afflicted by it.
Well done to Wellingham, to Beams, back to Fraser. He Kicks around the body towards half forward. Ellis and Swan, Davis, or clever little knock into the path of Wellingham. Couldn't quite gather, and standing his ground well was Stratton. Around the body, well done to Mitchell. Now Burgoyne in space on the southern wing. Kicks towards half forward. Osborne, 55 from goal. Good overlap by Bateman. High towards full forward. Franklin, too good. He had Brown searching for his body, and Franklin just skipped around him. He had eyes only for the football, and has marked just 20 metres from goal, directly in front.
The key to that was when Burgoyne got free with the footy, some Hawthorn player was going to touch it next.
Yeah.
His skills were just great.
So Collingwood have kicked the last 4 goals in the game, so an opportunity for Franklin here from directly in front. Shouldn't have too many problems. He pops it through. The margin back to 12 points. Franklin has his second goal of the afternoon. And as I said, the margin 12 points.
This is the kick. Have a look. Just summed it up beautifully. Osborne led.
Burgoyne off for a spell. Renouf has not limped off, but he looks very ginger down there. He's come off for a spell also for the Hawks.
Yeah, it looks like that thigh's really tightened up on him quarters. They obviously tried to keep it mobile at half time, but it doesn't look like it's worked at this stage.
Another good bit of ruck work by Fraser.
Swan, nice delivery to half forward, and the mark's taken by Little Blair. 50 against Brown. Easy goal coming up for Collingwood.
And we'll go back to the bounce, and the nice tap over the back by Josh Fraser to Beams sets up this shot at goal for the Pies.
And that was the reason for the 50, just the little tug on the jumper.
Right? Because he hasn't played on, you just can't grab his jumper.
Jared Blair for his second. No problems for him.
You just thought that goal from Franklin just might have kick-started the Hawks, but as Stephen mentioned, some terrific ruck work from Fraser in the middle of the ground, and yeah, that's sadly by the rules. It's really a nothing, but it's a free kick, isn't it? And by the rules, it's 50 metres, so you can't do it.
Brett Renouf there, just trying to tick the legs over to hopefully come back onto the ground. He's an important player in this Hawthorn makeup, particularly coming into first week of the finals. And they'll want him back this afternoon. Jolly. Yep.
Yeah, into the ruck, Jolly. Fraser's gone forward.
And we get congested piece of play, so a secondary bounce. And Fraser just lurking around the centre half forward area at the moment, 50 metres from the Collingwood goal. There he is with Stephen Gillum, his marksman. So a chance here for Wellingham, and he's earned a free kick, has he?
He has, Chriso, and they've got the 3 big fellas up forward, Fraser, Dawes and Cloak.
So Sidebottom combines with Pendlebury, kick very wide. You wonder why they just don't go long, Rob.
Well, when they've got those big fellas there, you do. Perfect day for footy.
Beautifully done by Tuvey. He runs the Lewis kick down. Handball off to Cloak, off to Sidebottom. Beautiful level shimmy to get around an opponent. McCarthy. Oh, great stuff from Sidebottom. Back to Cloak, to Jolly, who just jams it on the boot. High, inside attacking 50. Doors up, but Stratton claims the mark, not paid, and then he's dumped. Chance for Collingwood's Blair. He concedes ground. Mark taken by Jolly.
Hawthorn supporters incensed.
Now it's a Hawthorn
Yeah,
free.
against Wellingham, he gave one to Stratton after the tackle, just put his elbow in his head.
So it's been reversed. So silly play there by Collingwood.
Not much in it, but umpire was right on the spot.
Move it on! Play on!
Lance Franklin
Yours, mate.
kicks to Brown. Very stagnant at the moment, the Hawks. He's got a short one back on. He goes to Bateman. Play on's the call. Handball's to Guerra. He just thumps it as long as he can. Skipper. Out bustled there by Brown to McCaffrey. Here's an opportunity for the Hawks. Skipper to Burgoyne, to Osborne, and Osborne should goal. He missed. A couple of Hawks said, what about the handball? Osborne decided to go himself and has kicked it behind. Collingwood lead by 17.
Comes into McCaffrey. Well done, Rioli. Although Caffer first to recover off the Pendlebury. Brilliant. Brilliant. The ball towards Jolly. Well done, Lewis in front. Couldn't quite hold on to the mark. Now Thomas an opportunity. And a push in the back. That was desperate stuff from McCarthy at the base of the pack.
A few Hawthorn fans getting upset. Chris, the free kick count 13-4 in Collingwood's favour.
Okay, so little handball to Thomas. Jolly, too big and tall for Campbell Brown. Now back to McCarthy. Kick towards half-forward is a beauty onto the chest of Dawes. Now side bottom. Well, sold him into a bit of trouble here. Gets the handball though back to Dawes, who spreads it very wide to accommodate his captain Maxwell. 50 from goal. Chips it into the pocket. Fraser over his head and over the head of Davis as well. Although Davis comes back into the frame with a lucky bounce, but a free kick to Hawthorn.
Your kick, Tom. Leon, back a couple, mate.
And it'll go to Murphy.
One more. That's it.
As we watch this again, I want to just come off Davis's boot. Yeah,
into the post. Kick to the wing. Looking for, not finding Hooper. Thomas around the corner to Maxwell.
They are filthy, the Hawthorn supporters.
Thomas goes backwards to Blair. To Reid, I beg your pardon. So Reid switches back to the members' side. To Brown. And his kick finds Jolly. And Jolly can play on here as Osborne overcommitted. Nice kick by Jolly to side bottom. Short and sideways to Shaw.
Hawthorn have got every person back in the defensive half at the moment.
Now side bottom. Back again to Reid.
Quite part of the game here, Rob.
Yes, and Collingwood, they will just chip it around. They'll be patient.
Now Jolly's matched up on Mitchell at the moment, and Shaw sees it and he kicks into the Jolly direction. Unfortunately, the kick had a little too much hang time and Burgoyne was able to come across and assist, fisting it over for a boundary throw in.
When you see the game like that, you see soccer and that chip around the back trying to get a way through, don't you? It's very much part of our game now.
Becomes a patient build-up, doesn't it? Not prepared to kick it to a contest situation. Keep possession of the footy at all costs.
Ball to the back. Jolly tries to knock it forward. Chance for Burgoyne. Good tackle by Beams. Gets the handball though to Murphy, and just a handball along the line. Only as far as short. Swan needs to be precise here and is. Good kick coming into Tuvey. Now he's got Thomas inside the centre square if he wants Tuvey. Sees him eventually.
Swan's had 21, Chriso, the most of any player.
And Thomas now spreads it wide to Brown, who's forced to go back. Franklin guarding the mark. He kicks it long inside, attacking 50. Toss, battle of strength there, and Cloak wins out. 1-on-1 against Gibson. And he's just too big and strong. Travis Cloak will kick from just inside 50.
Time for plan B for Alistair Clarkson, Rob and Malcolm. Got to try something to win the game.
Yeah, got to get the footy back. Collingwood have seemed to dominate for the last quarter and a half.
Just dominate, not dominated, but the clearances, I think, have gone the Magpies' way. There hasn't been a lot of quick, clean ball come towards Franklin or Roughhead.
22 goals, 27 from set shots, Travis Cloak this year. So from just inside 50, lovely kick. Goal to the Magpies. Margin out to 23 points, and Travis Cloak has his first of the afternoon. He looks far more comfortable, Malcolm, kicking from around 50 metres.
Does indeed, doesn't he? Rob mentioned a bit earlier that with those taller blokes, the Hawthorn defence is actually not very tall, that I don't reckon that they've actually exposed them quite often enough with that quick kick forward. They've tried to do it a bit more perfectly. maybe we'll get that now that they've seen Cloak outbody him.
That's the thing, Malcolm, the clearances. It's certainly swung Collingwood's way. That's a domination, 34-15. Dane Swan's had 8, and you can see him in the picture there. Beams and Wellingham 5 apiece.
Burgoyne gets a rare clearance for the Hawks. Goes long to Franklin. He's got the free kick for a push.
Well, it's very rare that the ball's gone quick from a clearance situation forward for the Hawks. Puts pressure on the Magpie defence. And you can see Brown there. Just a ridiculous push in the end. Like, what was he thinking?
I reckon his brother a couple of weeks ago would have loved that free kick, Mitchell, when Jonathan Brown kicked the winning goal for Brisbane.
So Franklin for his 3rd. Gets it, and the Hawks hanging in there.
So watch it again. One of the issues is, I mean, Buddy's getting himself set. There is dead set of push. Was it as bad as that? Probably not. But you do milk it because you lost balance. You're out of the contest. So you're going to go forward. So you may as well go forward more than what you probably should have. But to me, it looked like a free kick.
In at this centre bounce, there's Beams and McCaffer. McCaffer's tagging Burgoyne and Fraser. So there's really only one of their regulars in at this centre bounce, and that's Dane Swan.
Fraser up against Skipper. Fraser wins it down to Swan. Close attention paid though. So Mitchell emerges inside attacking 50. Roughhead has been very quiet. Brilliantly rowed by Rioli. Oh, he was too slick for Bateman. And O'Brien does well to get it to Brown, who clears the immediate area. Side bottom and Guerra. Guerra uses his body well, but confronted by McCarthy. Hawthorn still a chance here, although the handball from Ellis wasn't great. McCarthy finds the footy, but on his back can't do much from there, and the umpire will ball it up. Look at this roving front and centre from Cyril Rioli.
That's what I reckon the Hawks don't do enough of. Get it long and fast and high into Franklin and Roughhead. Give them a better opportunity.
I agree with you, Quarters. They're 2 of the biggest forwards in the game and the best combination probably.
And they're going to bring the ball to ground if they don't mark it.
So here's another opportunity as Rioli emerges. Mitchell, good little give back to Rioli. Osborne, here's an opportunity for them. Kick is low and onto the chest of Franklin, who spilled it. Osborne does second effort, back to Lewis, 48 from goal, sets sail to a vacant goal square and kicks it. The Hawks are back in town. Margin back to 11 points. Hawks with the last couple in the game. 7-11 Collingwood, 6-6 Hawthorn. And Rioli seems to be the spark getting involved.
Gee, a clever little tap on there by Burgoyne.
Well, they've been beaten twice out the centre now, Collingwood. Both the clearances. And Jolly's back in the middle too, Rob. They've been beaten twice.
Yeah.
In a row.
Jolly ball, Pettenbury and Swan all of a sudden right back in the middle. That didn't last long, did it?
No.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 clearances, the Hawks. They've got 2 goals, and Mick Malthouse says, let's put the A-graders in.
And another clearance for the Hawks as the ball goes back inside their 50. Nice pick up by Goldsack to Tuvey. Good kick to the wing too under pressure. That was a good result for Collingwood. Swan having a great game. 8 clearances, 5 tackles, 7 contested possessions and 23 disposals now, as the Magpies work it to half forward and the mark's taken by Cloak. Bangs it long. Jolly sets himself. Blair. Good handball to ball, and ball kicks a goal. Quick reply from Collingwood. Gee, they worked that well.
Interesting, isn't it? Dane Swan got the first one and it ended up with ball.
Yeah.
They're the 2 blokes they put back on the
Just
ball.
brought back on. Yeah. Jolly important too to give this contest to bring it to ground.
Yeah, good call too. Yeah, so yeah, all got a tick there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Alistair Clarkson watching on. Hawthorn got to within 11, but Luke Ball kicking his first goal of the afternoon, his 7th for the season. The Magpies back in front by 17 points. Lewis, not 15, wide cross, good little give to Saul, who drives it wide to Franklin, who just pushed off Brown and has marked 45 from goal.
Lovely little touch, wasn't it? He just gave a little bit of a shove and gave himself space to take it on the chest.
From 50, loads up and drives it home. What a beauty. Franklin has 4 and is keeping the Hawks in the game here.
Get a big smile on your face then, Malcolm.
Yeah, it's sometimes you go to the footy and they go, oh, you hope some things happen. And when this bloke gets on his bike and plays well, you know, it's just exciting to watch. And just the nonchalance of the kick, just, hey, I can do this. Bang. Straight through.
Well, Mick Moldau says enough is enough, and you can see he's made the switch. Now, that's Buddy's 3rd goal of this quarter. He effortlessly pushed Nathan Brown aside to take the mark and then goal. So Buddy's got 4 goals, and the runner immediately went out to Ben Reid and said, right, you go over and get Buddy. Brown, you go on to Roughhead.
Great smother by Davis on the Ellis kick. Umpire will come in and effect a bounce.
Next Leon, straight up.
The Magpies got it out to a 23-point buffer not all that long ago. The Hawks have kicked a couple, so 11 points of difference, which was the margin at half-time.
Can you believe how nonchalant that kick of Buddy's was? It was just, 55 out, just go back and waltz it through.
Run off. Saul coughs it up. McCaffer hurries the kick inside, attacking 50. Gillam. Now he's got support here with Stratton. Dawes needs to fight hard. But 3-on-2 will win out, or will it? Gibson is brilliantly tackled by Dawes. Loose footy. Guerra. Oh, gee, the Collingwood forwards are fighting hard. Dawes off to Pendlebury. 30 from goal. Squares it up to Jolly, who can waltz in and kick the goal. Decides to go back.
He's got a cool head, Chris, though. He's not going to rush himself. I tell you what's sensational is the tackling pressure that Dawes and Travis Cloak put on. They are big men, and they really work hard to keep that ball locked into the Magpie forward 50.
They were outnumbered 3-2 there for a few seconds, but they were able to hold it in, wait for others to arrive, including McCarthy, who executed a wonderful tackle. And it results in this shot at goal for Darren Jolly, who's kicked 1 already in this quarter from 45 metres. Oh, kicks his 2nd. The goal umpire doesn't move. Back out to 17.
Well, the thing about Darren Jolly is that he's such an accurate shot for goal. He could pretty much, even though he's a big man, he could pretty much play as a key forward because he's got a very good football brain. And he's kicked 20 goals, 8 behinds this year. So an accurate shot for goal. Why wouldn't you go back, settle yourself and line it up from 40 metres out?
$21 goals, 8 for the year. What a season he's having.
Amazingly, 7 goals in the first half, Stephen. 9 already in this quarter. It really has
including
opened up.
just 2 in the opening quarter.
Yeah.
So there's the margin, 17 points. Jolly beaten by Renouf this time. Pendlebury first to arrive though. Oh, had it a long time and then threw it. Free kick. Free kick to Hawthorn, and not before time, says Hawthorn fans. Saul with the opportunity. Pumps it towards Roughhead at the back. Oh, he got up high, couldn't take the mark. Goldsack does well to Tuvu. Coughs it straight up to Ellis. Ellis from 40. Left foot going home. Yes! Goal to Hawthorn. So they've got the answers at the moment, Hawthorn. They keep hitting back.
Yeah, but what Stevens Quartermain said before, you kick it up to that bloke and Buddy, they really will get outmarked. And all of a sudden you've got enormous pressure in an area. And things can happen, as like that did. And he remained really calm. Great goal.
Had a good month, Xavier Ellis. finding a bit of form at the right time of the year. Collingwood by 11.
See how critical of the clearance has been in this quarter.
Yeah.
And that's why we've seen 10 goals kicked already.
Forwards must love it. One out, you got a chance.
Jolly the tap went straight to Burgoyne. Sewell in and under. Somehow came out with a footy. Dishes to Rioli, who drills a long ball into the pocket. Brown does the fisting away. Roughhead's there. Got the handball, but it was intercepted by Brown, who runs into a wall. Gives it back to Goldsack. Oh, under pressure. Big handball to Tuvey. That saved the day. Thomas has been quiet. Dishes to Pendlebury. Draws the player over to Harry O'Brien. Gives it to Beams. Beautiful play from defence by Collingwood. Advantage paid. As they work the ball to the wing. Sure. Pendlebury again. Inside 50 to Shaw. Sensational stuff from Collingwood. Right from the back pocket. Chain of handballs. And now Shaw can have a shot at goal.
And the player who featured in most of it was Scott Pendlebury. And, geez, such a clever player. He just draws opponents and then able to use their opponent to take advantage. He just is so clever with his handball. Unflustered. And lovely kick to finish off.
And Heath Shaw loves a goal. Hasn't got many of them this year, just the 4. Looks good off the boot. Never in doubt.
Well, 11 goals in the quarter. It's been quite a contrast to the first half. It's been amazing. But
just beautiful play by the Magpies, wasn't it?
Yeah, they just pretty clean for the whole lot, weren't they? The good finish. Under pressure too, Pendlebury, as he kicked that.
And again, Fraser given opportunity at the centre bounce, and you keep Jolly on. Why not? He's gone to the goal square for a bit of a breather, but he's had a terrific quarter. Has Darren Jolly kicked a couple of goals and featured in some terrific hit-outs that have been instrumental in quick clearances.
Fraser against Skipper, wins it out. Only as far as Mitchell, though, who turns onto the left boot, barrels it inside, attacking 50. Franklin and Reid get mixed up. No free kick. Maxwell, the crumb to Ball, who trapped it superbly, although couldn't get the handball off, was pushed in the back. Yeah. And we'll get the free kick at half back for the Magpies.
Thanks, Clinton.
Geez, hands were good there, Ball. Just gathered it so cleanly. Awkward bouncing ball.
Move it on! Play on!
Now, not too much to go to, so kicks along the line. At the back, big leap by Pendlebury, couldn't hold on. And the ball over for a boundary throw-in on the northern wing.
Nick Malthouse down from the box. Collingwood by 17. Be a little bit happier with this term. Even though they've only stretched their margin by a goal. Skipper to Burgoyne. Quick kick back to the 50. Rough head against Brown. Very quiet day for Jared Roughhead. It's 5 disposals. 1 behind. Played 92% of the game. 50 out from the Hawks goal. Skipper against Fraser. Fisted forward by Bateman. Here's Tuvey to Swan. Just got the handball away.
Yeah.
Must-win game for the Hawks this afternoon if they want to have any chance of hosting a home final. Otherwise, it appears they may be headed to Subiaco next weekend to take on the Dockers.
How would you fancy that, Stephen? Hawks versus Fremantle.
Oh, absolute 50-50 game.
50-50?
Yep. Let's disregard what happened a couple of weeks ago. That means nothing.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be an absolute 50-50 game. Quick kick by Swan to the 50. Stratton's in front, can't mark.
Ferocious attack on the ball, but a bounce just outside the attacking 50 at right half forward for the Hawks. Collingwood got it out to a 23-point lead at the 14-minute mark, but Hawthorn have been able to match them goal for goal since then. Fraser wins it down only as far as Sewell. He's wrapped up by Blair. And another bounce.
Be a new experience for most of the Dockers out there, Malcolm.
Yeah, sure. I was thinking that. Rob, what do you think? I mean, going to hypothetically, of course.
I reckon the Dockers needed that game last night. They bring back 10 players or whatever it was. They didn't play great footy, but they won, and they've got another week at home. I think my money would be on the Dockers.
Sewell was able to extract it off to Mitchell. Oh, what a beautiful kick he is. Onto the chest at Whitecross. And he'll kick from directly in front 40 metres with an opportunity to get the Hawks back to within 11 points.
Now, that's Sam Mitchell on his non-preferred side. You'd never know, would you?
No, that was just exquisite. So here's Brendan Whitecross to get the Hawks back to within a couple of kicks. Drop putt looks pretty good off the boot. Margin back to 11. So
6 goals each.
Yeah, there's exactly 12 goals for the quarter, and the margin as it was at half time, 11 points in favour of the Magpies.
The more interesting thing to me is that they've only both scored 1 point each, so the scores are 6 goals, 1 apiece.
Hawks won't go away. 6 goals each in this third quarter.
And I don't think Mick Malthouse would be too happy about the opposition kicking 6 goals in a quarter. Over the last 10 games, an average of 63 points has been kicked against the Magpies. That's the best defensive effort. Hawks are already up to 60.
Free kick to Skipper. He wastes no time. He looks long for Franklin, who's double team being held. So Franklin can go back and shoot for his 4th goal of the quarter and his 5th for the match.
And quarters, your theory about getting it long to the big fellas, there's a bit of substance in it.
Bit of substance.
The Hawk fans have been crying out for it all year. Instead, if they don't mark it, at least they'll bring it to ground.
Can I tell you something? I reckon football's crying out for it, Stephen. A bit more than what happens.
And there's no doubt he had his arm held. And that's because the young Collingwood defenders, you know, they are concerned about the talents and abilities of Buddy and Roughhead.
Franklin for his 5th. No. 10 points. So they've won the quarter by a point, the Hawks.
Gee, it's going to be a long quarter, still over a minute left, and we're already through 32 and a half. So Goldsack to himself, and then long towards halfback. Thomas has been quiet. Brilliant mark taken there by Ellis. And Hawthorn's turn now just to keep it inside their forward half. Long towards Peterson up in front. Couldn't take the mark at the fall. Chance for Swan. Just tacks it out of the immediate area. Guerra. Oh,
it's a good mark.
That's a brilliant mark, isn't it? And it'll come back in again. Kick towards Mitchell is effective. Point of the square, left half forward. Looking for Rioli. Couldn't, in fact, it was Hooper. Couldn't hold on. Tuvey, Wellingham. Where's the support? Shaw. They've got no one in the forward half, Collingwood. Little kick to Blair, who did well just to knock it back towards Shaw. Gillam dives on it. Threads it out, but Blair an opportunity. Now they've got numbers forward. Davis and Gibson destructive with the fist.
Have a look at the crowd roar. The Hawthorn fans are up and about, and they just thought that was sensational because they look so dangerous, Collingwood. And Gibson's desperation came to the fore.
Just gave him a good look at it, and he did the job. Jolly to the back of the pack. Thomas, little give, not effective. Rioli, some magic. Handball into space, taken brilliantly by Davis. Maxwell towards full forward. Dawes in front. Ball to the back. Chance for McCarthy. He's got beams if he needs him. Kicks it behind. Perhaps should have gone to him.
So the margin is 11 points, and pending a disaster from the kick-in, that was the margin at half-time. So no inroads made by the Hawks, but they're a chance as we go into the last quarter. Collingwood 10-12-72, Hawthorn 9-7-61. Franklin 4 goals for the Hawks, and the major goal scorers for Collingwood 2 each to Jolly and Jared Blair. Jeff Kennett apparently in a feisty mood at the President's lunch today. Had plenty to say.
That's unusual.
Might make big news in Tassie tomorrow. Took a swipe at a few of them apparently as we start this last quarter. Ball puts Collingwood in their attacking half. Brown sees it. No, I thought he was going to say sees it safely over the line, but Pendlebury pinched it. Handball's back to Maxwell. He's got a bit of room to work with. And he drills it long. Swan's there and Cloak. Oh, that's a good mark to Swan. Rioli fed it out. We'll have a throw in.
Just looking at the form of Hawthorn, add a Hodge to this, going to Fremantle next week if they end up with that, as we watch that marking contest. They can't be unhappy about this performance against the team that's taken all before them. I mean, it's been a very competitive effort so far.
It has. No, you're right. And, to kick 6 goals in the quarter against the Magpies, that's a really good effort. And the way they did it by using the big fellas up forward, you sort of think maybe they might have learned a bit from that.
As I said, the Dockers are going to be the team under pressure. Not many of them have played finals. Hosting a home final at Subiaco. Very much a 50-50 contest, I would have thought. I
think the thing is, though, Quarters, I reckon that game last night against Carlton was played like a final. That was as intense as a final. This game isn't.
Thomas to Pendlebury. Into the pocket. Fraser. Can't see it in. OK, Robin Davis, have they done enough to come back next week and play a final?
Josh Fraser hasn't done enough to keep Lee Brown out. If Lee Brown's fit, he'll come into the team.
And Leon Davis?
Leon Davis has been a 5 out of 10. He's done enough to keep his name on the board.
If Didak's available, he obviously comes in.
So a free kick to Renouf. And all to Bateman now. Early whistle blow there, but called to play on. Ellis, Gibson. Well done, Gillum. They keep their head, and now Young can run with a bounce. Confronted by Goldsack, but just takes him on. Runs to centre wing. Kicks towards half forward. Franklin and rough head. Got up again. Couldn't take the mark. Chance for Brown. Maxwell did well to get boot the ball there and somehow kick it to Swan. Swan from backward of the wing. Kicks it poorly. Mark taken by Stratton. First goal here to the Hawks would really set this game up as Mitchell now inside to Murphy. Long inside attacking 50. Franklin's opportunity to jump, and he does, and he marks. 35 from goal, as good as directly in front.
Well, they put the ball inside their forward 50 twice, the Hawks, both with long kicks directed at the big fellas. And I reckon after that third quarter, when they kicked the 6 goals, Alistair Clarkson would have said at 3/4 time, this is the way to go, boys. Because they have got young defenders in Ben Reid and Nathan Brown playing on the guns, and they have struggled.
Well, he's kicked 4-2. This for number 5. Looks pretty good. Hawks to within 5 points. Five goals to Lance Franklin this afternoon. And now we've got a ball game.
Got a ball game, all right. A couple of times I thought Collingwood would actually drift away and just mosey on over the line, but the Hawks aren't to be denied, are they? And this guy's really turned it on in the second half. But they have kicked the ball to him. Much more one out. And that was a very good mark under pressure.
Lance Franklin kicks his 61st goal for the season. And the margin is just 5 points in favour of Collingwood. It's been a while since he's kicked a big bag, buddy. Renouf against Jolly. They both missed it. Picked up by Rioli to Mitchell to Sewell to Bateman. Back to Mitchell. Runs into a wall. Now gives it to Brown. who chips into the middle. Oh, Whitecross spilt the beans. Hacked off the ground. It was an effective kick too by Swan. Murphy just manages to shrug the Davis tackle. Should have nailed that tackle, Davis.
Yeah, bad tackle by Leon.
Gillum to Brown. Oh, dear, that's messy. And a free kick going Collingwood's way.
And then Murphy just able to slip the Davis tackle there, get the Hawks out of trouble. But the free kick to Goldsack.
It's in way.
Now side bottom. So again, Hawthorn, as they've done for most of the afternoon, getting numbers back behind the ball. So side bottom just decides to kick long to a contest. Cloak up. He finds it at ground level, Travis Cloak. Drives it to the goal square. One-on-one here. Dawes. Oh, too strong. One-on-one with the young Ben Stratton. Great strength. He'll kick from 10 metres.
It's a one-handed mark. Look at this.
What about the kick, though? The kick by Travis Cloak was a beauty. Just launched into it. Stratton immediately under pressure with a long ball coming in like that.
So Chris Dawes with an opportunity for his first of the afternoon to extend this lead back to 11. No problems there. He's only kicked one goal, Rob, but he's been a very good player. His fighting qualities, keeping the ball inside the 50, have been great today.
I like him, Chriso, and he's a must for September. And again, you've got Travis Cloak and Dawes. It's a bit like Franklin and Roughhead up the other end. It takes quality defenders to be able to control them. Not all clubs have got them.
He's improving, Rob. You know, some blokes you're not quite sure, but he's actually improving. He has some quiet games, I mean, because he's still young and learning the track. But when you see him play today, not that he's been dominant, but he actually contributes.
I'm a rap for him. That was a shocking bounce that should have been recalled, umpire.
Skipper to Lewis to Rioli. Goes long inside 50. Oh, good stuff from Reedy. Backed himself there and kicks it back to centre half forward for the Pies. And it's fallen nicely too. Handball comes out to Jolly for his third. And the big ruckman just misses to the left.
This was the centre bounce that we thought should have been recalled. Didn't give the Collingwood ruckman any chance to get near it.
So Guerra now at fullback. Drives it long. Young the target. Gee, he's got to beat a couple. Blair front and centre. And was taken high. He'll get the free kick. Not hard to do. He's a fighter. He kicks towards Cloak, chipping in Rioli. Hawthorn defence under pressure. Whitecross a little jittery, and he's been pinged for a throw by the umpire, not in the immediate area. Officiating the play, umpire Rosebery coming down, and the free kick to Dale Thomas, who's had a pretty quiet afternoon. Here it is. What do you think, Malcolm?
Oh, I thought he was a bit harsh, actually. I mean, to the letter of the law, it probably was a throw, but he was actually got the ball knocked out of his hand.
Yeah, it was sort of bubbling around.
Yeah.
Oh, he was unlucky, I reckon. Yep.
But you know what? You can go back and look at the tape, and you'll find 3 or 4 of those throughout the day. Some you win, some you lose. You know.
So Dale Thomas coming in for his 12th possession from 45.
Where he ran. It's coming.
Into the post. Margin 13 points in favour of the Magpies.
Guerra, now what's he going to do with it? He decides to drill it long. It's a thumping kick to the wing. McCaffrey with strength worked his way to the front. Burgoyne put his body on the line too. Collided with Wellingham. Umpire will bounce. Good stuff from Sean Burgoyne. Could have been a knee wrecker, that one.
Oh.
Willingham's up and he's fine. Skipper against Jolly. Comes to Tuvey. Kicked in the Pendlebury direction. Spoilt by Stratton. Here's Lewis to Mitchell. It's all Collingwood here. Maxwell. Manages to get past Roughhead with no problem. Puts Collingwood back inside 50. Oh, good mark in front. No, not paid to Brown. Comes to Blair. Over the top to Davis. And Davis scrubs one and kicks a goal. 2 goals to Leon Davis. And it's a handy buffer now. It's back out to 19 points. Still a long way to go in this final quarter, though.
Gee, I tell you who was good then was Dawes. His contest to get to the contest. Yeah, he made up yards. He didn't have to or didn't need to, but he just willed himself. A goal. Here you go. The ball bounced. That is a goal. I can see that.
No, you're right, Malcolm. The effort by Dawes was sensational because it looked like he wouldn't get there. Willed himself to the contest. Not only did he bring it to ground, he then recovered and fed off the handball. Have a look at this. You think it's a Brown mark, but the big fella hits the pack. Quick hands to the little fella Blair. Goal.
19 points the advantage. Lewis's kick run down by Wellingham.
In danger.
Kicking in danger.
And kicking in danger. So quick little give to Ellis, who kicks inside attacking 50. Franklin's got to beat a couple. Maxwell at the front. At the fall, a chance for a rough head. Well tackled by Brown. Couldn't get the handball off, and Reid sees it over. Boundary throw in.
Once again, quick kick up forward.
Yep.
To the tall. Been a dramatic change in this game in the way they've structurally played.
So Fraser doing the ruck work for the Magpies against Skipper. Fraser in front, does well, although shark by Burgoyne. Burgoyne now gets onto the left boot, just trying to kick it a bit too hard. Contest 5 metres from goal. Skipper can't take it. Chance for Roughhead. Tuvey. Brown, it was only as far as Peterson. Wide cross. Tries to pull it back. Had more time than he thought. Kicked out on the full. So a free kick to the Magpies in the back pocket.
I just wonder whether Alistair Clarkson at half-time decided if we go to Fremantle, their defence is not super tall. Why don't we play a bit like we might play next week? You just wonder if that went through his mind.
Well, I reckon there's no doubt both coaches, the focus is on this match, but there's also thinking ahead to next week, and that's why we've seen McCaffer do tagging jobs, McCarthy come into the side and do tagging jobs. Beam's given plenty of time in the centre square for the clearances. Leon Davis given an opportunity when Ben Johnson pulled out to make sure he plays finals football. He's kicked a couple of goals and he's done okay.
I just wonder with Dale Thomas being sat on and had a quiet day, with a mix just letting him run around, because he could go and run onto somebody else or go forward or go back. He's quite an adaptable player.
Hasn't changed it, has he?
No, he's just let it go to tough it. See if he can tough it out.
And I reckon Fraser's probably been given more ruck time than what Lee Brown would have been given.
Yep.
And that makes a bit of sense because it gives Jolly a little bit of a spell today and gives this fella an opportunity to play in the next month in the senior team.
Swan gets his 29th disposal for the match. Danger time now for the Hawks. Another one here would just about seal the issue for Collingwood. Guerra spills to Gillum. Kicks back to the wing. No mark to ball. Ooh, free kick though.
What's the free kick count, boys? Because if you told the Hawthorn supporters they'd burn the MCG down at the moment.
We caught one too, ball from Osborne.
No, you're right now. Play on now.
18-11, the free kick count. So it's evened up somewhat. Osborne with the free kick. A little short one to Bateman. Now to Young. And again, he goes long. Franklin one-on-one. This time he's being held. Umpire let it go. Spills to Roughhead. He's run down. Great tackle by Brown at the death. Well, that saved a certain goal for Collingwood.
Tell you what was good, Quarters. Maxwell just threw himself back to help out his defenders. He knows that his young teammates are under pressure back there. Nick Maxwell in this quarter has done everything he can to get back and help Brown and Reid.
Kick from ball is a beauty. McCaffer at half back. Beyond the wing. target his cloak. Got hands to it, but brilliantly taken front and centre by Bateman. And he finds his captain Mitchell off to Young, who can kick it a long way, and he does exactly that towards Franklin again. Oh, he left Reed on the ground. Franklin will kick a goal. That's 6. Geez, hard to match up on one-on-one when you get the ball in quickly. Hardly anyone can stop him. And there's the kick from Young out in front of Franklin. Great strength shown there. 6 goals.
It's quite a legal push, that too, isn't it? It's really a manly thing. Both players try to push, and the stronger one got away with it then.
Great individual performance from Lance Franklin. He's 6 goals. He's keeping the Hawks in the game. It's Collingwood by 13 points.
The longer kicking, Stephen, has been unbelievably noticeable.
It's changed, hasn't it? And isn't the game the better for it?
Yeah.
Mitchell against ball. Mitchell fed it out. Fraser can't quite pick it up. Difficult one for a big man. He did well in the end, Fraser. Got it off to McCarthy. Now it comes to Swan, who puts the foot on the gas, runs to 50, goes for home. Superb stuff from Dane Swan. He's unfashionable. He looks like he moves like an old. You think he moves like an old draft horse, but look at the acceleration in this, Malcolm.
Oh, he hardly ever gets caught. Plus, his awareness is unbelievably good.
Just put the foot on the accelerator and a great finish.
He doesn't try and overkick the ball. A lot of guys, when they run flat out, try and kick it too hard. You don't have to, because your legs are already pumping. Just kick it normally.
You think when you see him run, he moves like a draft horse, but just a little turn of speed there to shake off his opponent, and a great finish.
Oh, it's class, isn't he? People, I mean, during the year, how many A-graders they got? I remember talking a couple of weeks ago, Rob, they got plenty.
It'd be interesting to see how many make the All-Australian team, because sometimes that Geelong premiership teams had 8 and 9 in it.
Yeah.
There won't be 8 or 9 Collingwood players, and that's the strength of the Pies.
Ellis towards half forward. Again, the Collingwood defence. Oh, Brian's caught red-handed. Oh. And the free kick to Roughhead.
Isn't he a prime opportunity? I thought it more in the back to me. Have a look.
Well, the fact that he shaped the handball, I think that was the problem.
But you got it allowed 1 second.
Well,
I reckon that's the worst call I've seen today.
Roughhead's got it.
Do you reckon he had time? Didn't have any time.
From 45, directly in front to keep Hawthorn in the game. Yes. Margin back to 13. Still plenty of time left.
Have a look at this. Just gets hold of it. Bang. Driven into the ground. Oh. Have a look. Oh, very harsh. Well, I agree with Mick.
Malcolm Blight still not happy with the free kick. Collingwood leads by 13.
And the Magpies have propped Nick Maxwell in the middle of Franklin and Roughhead. He's a spare man in defence, and boy, do they need him there.
Ellis with his head over the ball. Caught one high. Advantage paid. Mitchell squeezes a kick out. It was good vision to the running chance Bateman. Now he can go about another 30 or 40 metres here. And he does, and he goes into the pocket looking for Lewis. Desperate stuff from Maxwell. Goldsack to O'Brien, to Reed. Pressure mounting now on the Collingwood defence. Hawthorn throwing everything at them. Handball comes out to Rioli. Kicks into the goal square. Diving mark. Good stuff taken by Maxwell again, leading from the front.
He's been sensational, Quarters. In this quarter, he's doing absolutely everything he can to shore up that leaky defence.
Kick marked by Stratton. Now a loose player, but it's an ill-directed kick, and Wellingham gets back and takes the mark. Tougher it gets, the better he gets. The captain, Nick Maxwell. So Wellingham Back to Maxwell, who's forced to play on and kick it high. Beams has got to make a contest of it. He does. Young to Saul, Rioli, Lewis. Shrugs the Thomas tackle. Off to Young. A dangerous spot again. Roughhead and Franklin. Ball to the ground. O'Brien. This time there's no prior opportunity. Ran off. Soccer by Hooper. Is a goal. The margin is 7 points. And Hawthorn refused to lay down. A cool and composed Mick Malthouse. Renoff did well just to get a hand in there to prevent Jolly from marking. And then Hooper hacked it off the ground.
But again, a long kick to a dangerous spot, and the Crummers take advantage.
That was Ron Hooper's first kick for the afternoon.
Well, it's his second disposal for the game, Quarters. He's played on Harry O'Brien, and the last opponent who played on Harry O'Brien and just had 2 disposals was given a TV set by the generous Matthew Lloyd.
It's not all about stats, Rob. You should know that.
Yeah. You're entitled to touch it a couple of times, aren't you?
Swan.
It's called football.
To Pendlebury.
It's not called not touch ball.
Calling the crisis, Pendlebury. And we'll have a throw in. Plenty of time left in the match. It's Collingwood by 7. As I said a couple of times, if Hawthorn want to have a home final next week, will give themselves a chance of a home final, they must win this match. Sewell with the takeaway. That's not a good kick as Reid worked his way in front of Franklin, has taken the mark.
So Ben Reid back in this Collingwood side this afternoon. Jolly the target, reaching up over the top. A spectacular mark taken by Burgoyne. Into the corridor, Brown. Not too much on across the ground for Campbell Brown, so he's forced to come back to Guerra. Back to Brown. Good chase by Dawes, and the handball as a consequence affected, and it didn't hit the target in Bateman, so a boundary throw in on the centre wing. Alistair Clarkson looking pretty relaxed. Jolly wins it forward to Wellingham, who brings it across his body towards half forward, but it's all Hawthorn, and the mark's taken by Guerra. Now Stratton moving for him for the switch of play, but he ignores that and kicks to the centre wing to Lewis.
Lewis, that's a good kick to Skipper. Now he's got Franklin in the pocket. He goes longer to Roughhead. He's in front, puts up the 1 mitt. Peterson, Young, right foot kick. It's a goal! It's a point the difference. Hawks are coming.
Although it's going along swimmingly, Collingwood, that looked like a comfortable go-away win, and the Hawks have found a second win somehow. And it really has been that kicking to that front spot 20-30 metres out from goal, and all of a sudden creativity's happened. Luck's fallen their way. Good reading.
One-point ball game. Wonderful goal from Clinton Young. Mick Malthouse, the coach of the Magpies.
Skipper's been really good for the Hawks. Had to do a lot of ruck work with Renouf's injury.
Jolly to McCaffrey, but he's wrapped up immediately and will get a secondary bounce. Well, they led by 19 points at the 15-minute mark, the Magpies. We're now at the 23-minute mark, and that lead is just a point. Now a chance again for the Hawks. Ellis towards full forward at the back. Rioli, snap and goal! It's a beauty. Cyril Rioli's kicked another wonderful goal, and the Hawks are in front.
Well, Rob, as we watch, the long kicking to the forward line has just been unbelievable. I can't believe, Rob, we're sitting here as They're sort of half experts on the game, but it's fascinating when you're sitting very close to a Hawthorn supporter and a Collingwood supporter. And the emotion coming out of this commentary box is quite exciting.
Well, we've seen some sensational goals. And,
Haven't we? What?
Can Cyril kick a special goal? Saw it last week and a couple today. His teammates love him.
They've kicked the last 4 goals of the game, Hawthorn.
You know how many goals they'd kicked till half-time? 3.
Yeah.
And they've kicked 12 so far in the second half.
Skipper got the tap. Taken by Cloak. Couldn't quite get it to ball. Spills to McCaffer. Now Collingwood go inside 50. Oh, almost a mark to Dawes. Did everything but hold on to it. Pendlebury. Dawes has another go, throwing his weight around. Somehow finds some space. Puts boot to ball into the goal square. Jolly not quite. Stratton under the pump. Burgoyne. Will he concede? He does. There's a couple of players down hurt. Jolly is one. I think Guerra or Bateman is the other.
Oh, blood streaming from his face. As we look at the goalpost cam there, but blood streaming from the face of Darren Jolly. You can see there.
Just threw himself at that marking contest.
So Bateman gets up for the second time today gingerly, but all eyes on Darren Jolly. Oh, Stratton.
Accidentally whacked in the face.
Well, he's on 1 week at a time. On Monday night, he'll have 2 black eyes. That's a heavy hit on Darren Jolly. Oh, look at that. That is terrible.
Oh, and they just hurt. Oh, they stink for hours, don't they? Every time you touch it, breathe for the next 24, 48 hours. She's a tough business.
Rush behind to Collingwood. Hawthorn lead by 4 points.
He's an absolute beauty.
He's had a ripping afternoon, hasn't he?
He's an absolute beauty. You want him in your team.
So Guerra from fullback, long to halfback, rough head up again. He's done that a few times. Hasn't been able to hold on to one. Ellis at the fall to Lewis. Kick towards half forward. O'Brien's got it covered. Just jams it on the boot to Fraser, who takes the mark on centre wing. Thought about going on and now does. Put his teammate Pendlebury under the pup. Chance for Mitchell. Brilliantly smothered by Pendlebury. Fighting hard, Blair. Put the head down, tried to crash through. Couldn't. He'll be pinged here, will he? No, the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
Michael, we thought the first half was a bit pedestrian at times. It's not anymore, is it? And blokes just want to win, don't they? I mean, that's, you just want to win.
Competitive spirit comes into it.
Fraser against Skipper. They nullify each other. McCaffer has a fresh air shot. Sewell wrapped up by Maxwell. Now forced to release. Burgoyne paddles. Knocked over by Ball. And the umpire will bounce. Almost the 5-minute warning. Hawthorn leads by 4 points.
Hey, Sam, let's go, mate.
Skipper the tap. Fraser tackle. 5 minutes to go. Dale Thomas for Collingwood. Good kick inside 50. Davis in front. Almost a miraculous mark. Side bottoms there for Collingwood. Guerra under pressure. He's tackled by Davis. What can Swan do? Ball gets knocked over the line for a throw in. Hawks by 4 points. Inside Collingwood's attacking 50. Skipper and Fraser. Skipper the tap. There's Swan again. They're onto him. Sewell. Good tackle by Davis. Another throw in.
It's down the Collingwood end of the ground in front of their supporters.
Hawks by 4 points inside the final 5 minutes. Fraser versus Skipper. Brilliantly taken by Pendlebury. The tackle, though, from Mitchell was brilliant to Lewis. Wild handball. Chance for Swan deep in the pocket. Dane Swan, check side, across the face, and the mark's taken, is it?
Touched
off the boot, so it'll be a boundary throw in the opposite pocket. Sidebottom argues the case, but he didn't realise it was touched off the boot. There's the tackle from Mitchell, was a beauty. Magpies still in attack. Hawks by 4, Fraser and Skipper to the front. Pendlebury, Mitchell hacks it out of the danger area, only as far as Goldsack, who gathers well. Back to Reed, he's well tackled. Now Tuvey an opportunity. Short, McCaffer has marked 48 from goal.
It's exactly where Leon Davis kicked the goal from. Second quarter.
Brent McCaffer loads up, kicks at goalward and misses to the near side. Margin 3 points.
13-16, 15-7. So the goal kicking again, isn't it? I mean, it's been a great second half of footy to watch.
4-10 at half-time, the Pies. And their goal kicking has been a worry all year.
Murphy slipped at the crucial moment, but manages to get boot to ball, and fortuitously it falls into the arms of Hooper, who kicks to Franklin, who's been able to shake off Reed. There's no one inside 50, so Buddy's going to have to wait. Now he's going to go short to Rioli. So again, there's no one deep for Hawks. So Rioli's, what he's going to have to do here. There is no one back for Hawthorn.
This is where Torpedo'd be great, I reckon.
Little short one finds Whitecross.
65-metre top. Yeah, the big barrel.
So Whitecross, got Franklin lurking for the handball. Someone from Hawthorn needs to get into the goal square.
Well, Renouf's got down there now with Fraser.
Yep, and Goldsack's down there too. So Whitecross, still a lot of time left on the clock, so there's no point trying to waste time. Whitecross into the pocket, clever little kick, and it's a good mark taken by Ellis.
Tell you what, Collingwood, Mick Malthouse would be filthy on that with the amount of time that elapsed. They needed to cover every Hawthorn player, and they gave Ellis too much space.
Xavier Ellis kicked a goal in the third quarter. Very, very tight angle. What can he conjure here? He's going to go the banana. He's made a good fist of it. It's hit the post. 4 points. Hawthorn lead by.
Now, do you think Goldsack will go a talk down the middle?
No. The conventional drop punt wide. Target is Cloak. In the end, had to spoil. Claims the mark, not paid. Off the beams. He's choked down by Hooper and penalised. Well done by Hooper. And he takes the free kick at right half forward. 32 minutes played, final term. Still a couple of minutes left. Back to Franklin. And further back to Brown. So this will test Collingwood to see whether they can man up effectively. Murphy, now he's got Burgoyne on the other wing. And he uses him, so Burgoyne's got it now. Now he's got someone just coming off the bench, Peterson, who must have just waited back before he made his appearance. And he's got it on centre wing, so wasted a minute or so there. Well done by Wellingham, great courage going back. Goldsack to Thomas, need to be clean here, Collingwood, and they are. Thomas handball under pressure, missed the mark, and a boundary throw in on centre wing.
But at least Collingwood have given themselves a 50-50 chance here. A stoppage on the members' wing. Hawthorn leads by 4. You'd still think there's time left for Collingwood. Lots of goals scored. Handball comes out to Wellingham. Kicks to the 50. Dawes has it fisted away at the crucial moment by Gillum. McCarthy keeps it alive. Scrubs one inside 50. Here's an opportunity. Beams overran it. Gibson against Blair. Blair into his back. Umpire says play on ball. Yells the crowd. It spurs free again. 15 out from Collingwood's goal. We've got to throw in.
Oh, Chris, it's not that bad.
And Jolly's back on. Jolly's just screaming onto the ground, running down there to be part of this contest. The big fella will have the nose taped.
Coming indoors. Chance
Free
for
kick.
ball. Free kick. Oh, it's a Collingwood free kick. Can you believe it?
Booms, I think.
Can you believe it? Can't be too long left. It's a Collingwood free kick, and Dane Beams, look at Brad Sewell, cannot believe it. And Beams will kick to win the game for the Magpies.
Well, let's have a look. Was he held? The jumper was pulled by Sewell, no doubt about that. The fella with the footy is one of the most inaccurate shots at goal that the Pies have got. Going into the game, he kicked 24 goals, 27 behind.
Worst in the
34
competition.
minutes.
Worst in the competition.
In the top 50 goal kickers.
Dane Beam, 6-10 from set shots from 40 to win the game for the Magpies, and he misses. He's missed it. Surely that's it. Surely there's not enough time now.
Wow. Have a look at the Hawthorn supporters.
So Guerra to bring the ball back into play.
Try and tell those supporters that this game doesn't mean anything, boys.
Yeah.
He drills it as long as he possibly can. Jolly's there for Collingwood, the big pack fly. Burgoyne to Mitchell. Throw in. We've almost gone 35 minutes. It's almost a night game now.
Oh, look at this.
Incredible stuff. 55 out from the Magpie goal. Renoff taps it to Mitchell. Big clearance for the Hawks. To the wing. Maxwell got the handball away. Roughheads there. So is Lewis. Siren. Hawks have won. And they've given themselves an outside chance of hosting a home final next week. A break from the MCG. Hawthorn has defeated Collingwood in a thriller by 3 points.